After age 70, millions of people still line up every year for all sorts of medical tests, believing it's a way to live longer. But the harsh truth is, many of the familiar tests don't protect you and can actually shorten your life, cause cancer, or force you to undergo unnecessary surgery. A scary number. In the US alone, these so-called preventative tests are thought to be the cause of up to 5% of new cancer cases each year. That means 1 in 20 people who get cancer are getting it from the tests they trusted. You won't hear this in the doctor's office, but in today's video, we'll point out the 5 most dangerous tests that people over 70 should avoid. And the first test, while seemingly harmless, can silently destroy your quality of life. And now we'll start with the first test. It sounds harmless, but it can silently destroy your quality of life. Seriously, test 1, bone density scan. When results scare more than help at age 70, doctors often recommend a bone density scan, called a DEXA scan, to check for fracture risk. It sounds logical, quick scan, painless, walk out with the results. But the truth is that most older people are labeled with weak bones, even though they have never fallen or broken a bone. Why? Because bone loss is a natural part of aging, like gray hair or wrinkles. When the results show low density, many people are prescribed bisphosphonates. It sounds powerful, but the side effects are terrible: stomach pain, reflux, esophagitis, even jawbone necrosis. Meanwhile, the benefits are very small. A study of 1,200 women over 70 found that after 5 years, the drug only reduces fractures by 0.3%. The story of Rose, 76, illustrates this best. She was healthy, walked every day, and had never fallen. After a DEXA scan, her doctor prescribed medication. A few months later, she had stomach pain, jaw pain, and gave up her beloved piano. It was only when she switched to resistance training, sardines, green vegetables, and vitamin D that she recovered without any fractures. The lesson here: if you have never broken a bone or fallen, don't let the numbers on the screen scare you. Exercise, nutrition, and vitamin D can sometimes be much more effective than medication. Serious test 2, brain MRI, when memory loss is not always a disease. When you reach 70, it is normal to forget names and keys. But many people fear Alzheimer's, so doctors often order brain MRIs. The problem is, most MRI results only reflect normal aging, a few white spots, a little brain shrinkage, not dangerous. However, when patients hear abnormal, they immediately panic. Many are drawn into further testing, spinal taps, biopsies, even surgery, while their memory does not improve. Mr. George, 74, is a typical example. He was just forgetful. MRI showed some minor changes. He panicked, thought he was about to lose his memory, quit driving, withdrew from the community. But when he tested his memory on paper, the results were completely normal. After being reassured, he focused on getting enough sleep, drinking water, playing Sudoku. 3 months later, his memory was stable, his spirit was more comfortable. Important message: don't rush to MRI if you only have mild symptoms. A simple memory test on paper is enough, safe, and inexpensive. Leave MRI for really serious cases like seizures, sudden personality changes. Serious test 3, cardiac stress test, when the test pushes you into dangerous procedures. Step on the treadmill, wires taped all over your chest. Your heart is stress test. This is a cardiac stress test. It is used to detect coronary artery blockages. But after age 70, its accuracy drops dramatically. The false positive rate is as high as 40%, meaning the heart is perfectly fine, but the machine says there is a problem. At that point, the doctor will order an angiogram, then possibly stent placement or bypass surgery. Sounds believable, but research shows that these procedures do not significantly improve life expectancy or quality of life for people without obvious symptoms. On the contrary, the risk of bleeding, kidney failure, and drug complications increases. Mr. Raymond, 75 years old, is the clearest example. He only felt tired when walking uphill. After a stress test with ambiguous results, he was taken for an angiogram and stent placement. That night, a reaction to the contrast agent caused kidney failure, and he was hospitalized for a week. Finally, the doctor discovered he just needed to drink enough water and rest. If there are no obvious heart symptoms such as chest pain, shortness of breath on exertion, you should choose an electrocardiogram or coronary artery calcium CT, safer, with much less risk. Test 4. Colonoscopy. When the risks outweigh the benefits, colonoscopy is the gold standard for detecting colon cancer. But after 70, especially after 75, the benefits gradually decrease while the risks increase sharply. Preparation with laxatives can cause dehydration, kidney failure. Sedatives cause confusion, affect memory. And most dangerous, the risk of intestinal perforation, bleeding. A study of 1.3 million Medicare patients showed for every 1,000 people over 75 who had an endoscopy, only 2 lives were saved, but 20 had serious complications. The risk-benefit ratio is 10-1. Miss Dana, 73 years old, had no symptoms, no history of cancer. The doctor just forced her to have an endoscopy. The result, intestinal perforation, hospitalized for 9 days. Her health significantly declined. Meanwhile, she had had 2 clean endoscopies before, absolutely no need to do it again. Advice: after 75 years old, switch to home stool testing, FIT test. Simple, non-invasive, still detects most worrying cases without causing complications. Serious Test 5, whole body CT scan. A flashy but dangerous trap. It sounds attractive. A whole body CT scan examining every corner of the body to find early cancer. But the harsh truth, each whole body CT scan is equivalent to 500 chest X-rays. This radiation can cause cancer, especially in the elderly. Not only that, CT can also easily detect harmless, abnormal nodules. But when they appear on the results, they immediately turn into a nightmare: monitoring, biopsy, even surgery. The consequences are often worse than the disease you fear. Mr. Marcus, 80 years old, still teaches martial arts to young people, is healthy, and has no symptoms. He took the VIP health checkup package, had a whole body CT scan, and discovered a small nodule. After a series of tests and biopsies, the results were harmless, but complications caused him to have a collapsed lung, requiring him to be hospitalized for 2 months. Backhand index pointing out experts recommend whole-body CT scans should not be used to screen healthy people. If there are obvious symptoms such as unusual weight loss, coughing up blood, then do an X-ray of the necessary area. Otherwise, stay healthy through lifestyle, exercise, eat healthy, get enough sleep, and listen to your body. Finally, when you pass the age of 70, the most important thing is not how many more tests you do, but how many more days you can live truly healthy, secure, and enjoy the joy of being with your family. Many tests sound preventive, but in reality only increase your worries, even leading to unnecessary complications. Sometimes, what you need is not another printed result from a machine, but an extra good night's sleep, a leisurely morning walk, or a happy meal with your children and grandchildren. We have gone through 5 common tests that many people over 70 are advised to do, but the truth is that the benefits are much smaller than the risks. This is a reminder: health is not only in the hospital, but in your daily choices. Focus on your lifestyle, eat a balanced diet, exercise regularly, stay optimistic, and get enough sleep. And remember, this is educational information, not medical advice. Any health-related decisions, please discuss thoroughly with your trusted doctor. If you find this content useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to always receive the earliest and most necessary health warnings for men over 55. Leave a comment sharing your experience. Have you or a loved one ever been in trouble because of an unnecessary test? And don't hesitate to share this video with your friends, because who knows, you might help someone avoid a bad decision. Thank you for taking the time to watch until the end of the video. Wishing you good health, much joy, and a steady journey into old age. See you in the upcoming videos.